I changed my lip color, and I know, whatever, you don't care, you get it. It may look a little bad because I am horrible at applying lipstick, and my lips are horribly shaped. Just saying. Now, this video is going to be how to convince your parents to let you wear makeup, and yes, this is a series of 3 to 4 videos on body modifications, on how to convince your parents to let you get them. And I'm not going to be doing a tattoo one, only because I personally think you should not be getting tattoos unless you are 18 or older. That is just my personal opinion. Do what you want. Cool. Now, the first thing you're going to need, obviously, is what I say in the whole video: paper and pen. I don't think I have to say this ever again, because you're probably going to be like, I know, paper and pen, paper and pen. Okay, so, to convince your parents to let you start wearing makeup, do a little bit of research about makeup, what kind of makeup you want to wear. I obviously wear very bold makeup. Kind of figure out the style, like, would you like glam, would you like natural, or would you like theater makeup, or would you like my scary, I don't know what type of makeup to call it, the scary green makeup, okay? I don't recommend doing this if your parents want you going very natural, but I do suggest starting out natural, because your parents are going to be like, only use it to enhance your looks, and what my parents said, and everybody else in my family said. So what you're going to want to do is figure out what makes your family happy, or whatever makes that person happy, whether it's you getting good grades, or you having like a sport to do or an activity to do. Just do all your homework and be very good for the first couple of weeks. And while you're doing that, research what kind of makeup you like, what brands you're going to, whether you want to start with drugstore or would you like to start with high-end. I, of course, started with drugstore. And sorry if my voice is a little growly. I just coughed. So, start with drugstore, because drugstore is really cheap. Drugstore, as I said, is very cheap and very affordable, and there's tons of products you can get at the drugstore. If you are cruelty-free, there's tons of cruelty-free options, like Wet n Wild, Elf, Physicians Formula, all those types of brands. And you're not going to want to buy makeup behind your parents' back and start wearing it to school, because they'll probably figure out somehow. As we all know, parents figure out stuff somehow. If you are getting into makeup, I do recommend getting only like a small palette about this size. This will probably get you very far. For you guys, I don't think you want to start with this palette. No, you don't, because your parents are probably going to make you wash all that makeup off and say you look weird. My parents never personally did that, but it happened to a lot of the people I know. So please do not just buy this palette and start wearing all the colors. It's nice if you have this palette to just pop like a little bit of a blue or a purple in your eye look. That's cool, because most natural eye looks have a little pop of something. So yeah. So you may want to start with a palette this big. I got mine from Morphe, and yes, it's pronounced Morphe. So you're going to want to start with a simple palette, some simple products. When I was getting into like foundations and primers and more complex stuff, I started with samples. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water, a sample that I got in a 500-point perks. And yes, I spent that amount in Sephora. And foundation samples. And you always want to make sure that you have samples just a couple weeks before, just to make sure your skin reacts well to this foundation, because it would suck if you spent so much money on a foundation and didn't have the time to return it. And yeah. But I do not recommend going around and wearing this lipstick at the starting of makeup. That is kind of what you build to in makeup. I do recommend getting something more natural, like what I'm wearing, and this is the Lolita too. And yeah, so you can if for brushes, you can always get cheap, simple brushes, like Real Techniques brushes. Oh, that's not Real Techniques brushes. I only have 2 because I gave one away and one broke. So yeah. But you definitely don't want to be walking around with black lipstick. I did have black lipstick in the last video, but that doesn't matter. If your parents kind of see like, oh yeah, she's being very mature with makeup, maybe you can get something like this and test it out, and yeah. But your parents will probably be cool if you're just playing around with makeup and putting it on and not going out in public around with it. If you're just pretending to be like a monster or something, then they probably won't make you wash it off. But I don't know your parents. So if your parents do say yes, get something small like this. I actually started out with something half the size, so about like this. And I can fit all this makeup in it. You can always get these bags at something like Winners or the dollar store, and they're very cheap and easy. So, yes, I know, you're probably like, you didn't tell me very much about makeup, you just told me the products. Well, I told you the products to start out with, because if you know what you're going to start out with, then your parents are more likely to say, okay, so she knows she's going to build up to, like, buying from, like, a BB cream to a full coverage foundation. She's not just going to go straight into full coverage. And makeup is for boys and girls. I'm just using she, or I will use they. Okay, so I'll just use they. But if they know that you are just building up, like from very light coverage to a little bit, and building your coverage on makeup, then they'll probably get more used to you wearing makeup, and will more likely be more comfortable if you walked out in the public like this. Always get little samples, and they're very easy to get. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please thumbs up, subscribe, and comment if you have any questions or concerns. And if you are wondering about my makeup, yes, I do dress like this on a daily basis. And I will be doing another video next, and that will be how to let your parents let you get stretchers or fake stretchers, whichever one you want. So, toodaloo.